Wait, but you know the first thing you have to do right now is what?
Tell you that what was Burger sitting in my chair the other day for?
No, the first thing we got to do is this episode is brought to you by
yes. What is it called?
Vichy Catalan.
Vichy Catalan and my favorite Mondariz, baby.
Mondariz. Very big shout out to
Kirian
Atala Group.
Kirian Atala Group. Thank you so much. I love you guys.
Thank you so much. All right, so, now.
Anyways, we
can move forward.
I've been seeing other people in my chair. My fans have told me.
I know. I'm sorry, bro.
Especially Burger Beast.
He slid his way in here.
Yes. Anyways, forget about him. We all know I love him. Anyways, this gentleman right here. Introduce yourself to the camera.
So much fun to have you. To be with you guys.
Look into that camera right there and tell me
Alvaro Perez Miranda.
Miranda, what is it that you do, Alvaro's Miranda?
I'm a restaurateur and art dealer.
Art dealer. He looks like an art dealer.
He looks like an art dealer. He looks like the classiest man we've ever had sit in this chair.
You know what? He's been like that. We met 10 years ago. I think it was like last week that it was like a 10-year anniversary or something like that.
Yeah. So he took you out to a date?
No. He was one of the pioneers in bringing back Biscayne Boulevard, cleaning up that that little thing they had at the 80s and 90s of being where the prostitutes hang out and real bad neighborhood with the motels. And he started a restaurant called Vagabond, right?
The Vagabond.
No way.
The Vagabond, which was I'll let him explain it, but which was an old school rundown, never go to hotel with like that crazy pool that nobody would really go into this beautiful remodeling and cool restaurant. Explain
beautiful
a little bit
art.
about that, Alvaro.
Was that by a pawn shop?
No, that's on Biscayne and 73rd.
73rd, never mind.
Yes. Yeah. So explain a little bit of that, because I remember that. I still had my segment on the air at the time, and I was invited by him, and nobody would go into that area. And then when I saw what he had done with the whole concept, and it was like one of the first craft, really good restaurants here in Miami where you started to see, local ingredients used in a really cool modern vibe. Explain a little bit about that.
I think the Vagabond was a little bit ahead of its time.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, like a pioneer.
Yeah, it was a really nice restaurant. We brought this young chef, half Mexican, half Chinese. We made a menu that was for the contemporary Vagabond.
Yeah,
it
was amazing. I think I know when I went, Alvaro was a little exaggerated when it comes to food and stuff. I think I had like 14 or 15 dishes. It was an amazing thing. But they also had art. Explain a little bit about your art background. I know restaurateurs will get into, but about your art dealer and a little bit of history about you.
First and foremost, I'm an artist. I wanted to be an artist ever since I was a kid. So I lived in Florence, and then I went to Los Angeles. Venezolano.
I would never have thought you were Venezuelan.
Yeah.
Like talking to you and chatting with you, and like obviously seeing the concept you have, I would never have thought he was Venezuelan.
Really?
That's amazing.
Well, he's a little bit of everything.
But Venezuelans are entrepreneurs and hustlers, man. I know a lot of good, successful, smart Venezuelans, man.
Yeah.
We have a lot of them that work here with us.
For sure. But the restaurants that he currently owns and the one we're talking about, Vagabond, also had an art aspect to it. Elaborate a little bit on that.
I always incorporated art to the restaurants that I make. I think it's important. I think the art sets the vibe.
Yeah,
it's a good
for the restaurant to have beautiful pieces, original pieces, and also you kind of support the local artists as well.
So what I liked about your restaurant, Ogawa, that you graciously invited me to, and I had a phenomenal time.
I told you, bro.
It wasn't anything. I told you. Like it's really one of those things that I couldn't complain about. The service, the way that they brought in, even the form that their hand when they take the dishes away. Yeah. Everything is scripted, trained, and on point. Okay, your chef. What was his name? Sorry, I forgot his name.
Royce and Masa.
So Royce did something, and that night that changed the night for me. Okay, he brought out the uni, which is sea urchin.
Yeah, the sea urchin.
Okay,
correct.
He brought out like a specific dish of uni, and it was me, my wife, and another couple. And when he started explaining that uni brings people together. Okay, he brought it out, put it on to not let it get wet with the dish, etc. Let it sit down. And when he said that, he started explaining to us the reason why. We started talking to our neighbor. And then we started sharing sake and drinks with our neighbor. And from there on, the vibe of the dinner was more fun and vibrant. It was incredible. And I told him that at the end of the night.
Well, part of having a good experience in the restaurant business is the connection that you have with the chef, with the staff, with the people that 100%. Are around you. And this is what we encourage in Ogawa. In Zen philosophy, the healthiest thing for you is the connection that you have with the food and the connection that you have with the people around.
Yeah.
That means that your cells are regenerating. So that's another level of, Zen.
Yeah, he did something at the end to finish those. There was a handful of things. I mean, I go out and eat a lot. I'm by no means a foodie because I like everything.
You're becoming one, bro.
I guess. But I do enjoy attention to detail, because I am a detail-oriented person. And he did something at the end that no one's ever done. And he finishes the meal and he says, would you guys like to try anything else? So imagine you just had 10, 15 course, and he's here graciously. Would you like anything else, or would you want to repeat anything? And I was like, wow, that's amazing. The first thing I said, has there anything been that I haven't tried? He goes, you've tried everything. He goes, wait a minute. Goes to the bottom, takes out another dish, preps it for me. He goes, I have one left. He goes, here you go. And I was like, wow, amazing. I felt making people feel special like that is very important.
Right. Yeah. It's, we focus on, that's one of our things.
Focus. You have a Michelin Star.
That's how much you're focusing.
Yeah, it's a Michelin Star restaurant, and you just got voted number 1 Omakase in Miami. Don't
we probably should have started with that, huh?
No, because he's not going to say it. I'll say it for him. But you talk us about that and what that took.
What happened was there was a study that a furniture company did, right? And it happened that among the Michelin Star restaurants, and we were the highest rated restaurant in Google.
Oh, wow.
So that was kind of cool,
Yeah,
so it's
absolutely.
not like, I don't believe that, there are best restaurants or that. I think, what we do, we really put emphasis on the craftsmanship of and the product. I was just in Japan. I went to the fish market, checking out the product that we have in Toyosu now.
In Toyosu?
Elaborate a little bit on that, because you have a huge connection to Japan. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you're a restaurateur and art dealer, and you do own a couple Japanese restaurants, but elaborate and give us a little bit of history of the connection you've had to Japan, which is my favorite place on earth. That's been there. We've been there.
Yeah.
Well, I lived in Japan for 15 years. Wow. I was married.
To a Japanese woman.
To a Japanese lady, yes. And I have a son, Tomas.
Yeah.
That is, he's in London now. But in Japan, I just fell in love with the culture and how these guys are so focused on making things so perfect, because they have something that we don't have, which is patient.
Yeah.
They really work on, let's have the patience to do. If they're gonna do the mango, they do the best mangoes, and the tomatoes, the best tomatoes, and that drives me, myself being a freak about attention to detail.
Yeah.
I was fascinated by that and how delicate things are in Japan.
Yeah.
The taste of food, being Latino.
¿Qué hace un venezolano en Japón?
My first evening in my first dinner in Japan, they brought me to eat the company that I was going to work with. They brought me to eat kaiseki food, and I found that food so bland. I was wow, it doesn't have the kick, and later on spring, when I first saw my first sakura, the cherry blossom, and I saw how delicate that is, I figured out that, okay, this is what Japan is all about. And I got it, and I really connected. Yeah. And Japanese that really love that I was able to connect with that which is the sensei, the delicate flavors on the food.
Although it might be subtle for us because we're such barbarics over here, but it's kind of how it's meant to be. I know, because I felt the same thing about a kaiseki meal too. I'm like, hey, this is... But then you kind of start going into the ingredients, the seasons of everything, and
because in Japan it has to be right there, if you're gonna taste the chicken, you have to be able to taste the chicken.
Yeah.
And not to have a sauce that overpowers that.
Yes.
You know, so
Here,
that
sauce is
you
everything.
not do like sauce is everything.
Yeah,
right?
here sauce is everything.
Which is fine too.
Yeah,
you know,
I like
so
it. No,
like
it's fine.
I love spicy food, and I love you know, food with a kick. So blending that, having that combination, I think is a winning formula.
Why did you? I wanted to go back to Ogawa. Number one, why the name Ogawa? Right.
Ogawa means little river,
Okay, got you.
and the neighborhood is
The
little river.
The little river. Little river is a new neighborhood there.
Yeah.
Right.
And how did that, like, did you decide I'm going to do an omakase here in Miami and I think it's going to translate properly, you know, considering that people here really weren't accustomed to omakase. I see them now popping up
Now they're
everywhere.
popping up
They're
everywhere.
everywhere. And I think it's good for the city.
Yeah.
Some of them are doing better than others, okay? Yours is by far the best that I've been to, and I've been to maybe about 6 of them.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
He hasn't been to Hagawa.
Oh, you gotta come in.
Yeah.
Hiyakawa is fun too.
Hagawa. You didn't have an omakase in Hagawa, no? It was.
No, we don't have an omakase.
It was just regular sushi service.
We have a tasting menu,
tasting menu.
but we don't have an omakase because
That one did well
I
too,
feel also like no, Hiyakawa does really well. But all my restaurants are pretty small. You know, in Hiyakawa we focus on doing 50 people a day. That's it.
Oh, wow.
We don't accept reservations for more than 4 people. To encourage also for the protagonist to be the food. Right?
Correct.
Yes, and talk about the design because I was just showing Ed before you got here. What's the inside look like?
Everybody tells me that
It does. I
like,
just say it because it does. And if that wasn't your purpose,
it's inside of a whale.
a whale.
I've never been inside of a whale.
That's a good point.
But it does look like it.
But you know what?
It looks like the whale lives.
The initial idea when we were conceptualizing the restaurant, when I talked to the designer, was that I wanted to do like a theater-like for people to go and see and have
like
that
stage-like,
perspective
yeah.
to see that.
That's a good point.
And also the ceiling to be an
Amphitheater,
art installation.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what it looks like.
But like I don't want to be swallowed by it.
Yeah, right.
But
right.
going back to Ogawa, and how did you decide to bring that concept here? Why did you decide to start omakase?
Well-
Do you feel like you were the pioneer for omakase in Miami?
Well, we were one of the first
ones
to do it in Miami. We started. Our first omakase was in Wabi Sabi.
Yeah. I was telling him too.
Like in 2000.
Another restaurant in that area.
In 2017, you know, with Masa, and Ogawa was because Matthew Vanderwerf, who is the person who really developed Little River, he was my customer, and one day him and another friend, Jeff Lagowitz, that came to the restaurant, and we were just talking, and they go, Alvaro, they asked me, if you want to do one more Japanese restaurant, what do you want to do? And I describe Ogawa, and I go, I want to do a restaurant with a garden, and I want to do a restaurant that is about bringing the best of the best. Like no
Everything
compromise
is imported in Ogawa.
No compromise on the quality of the food. And later on, he came up and he showed me the space, and I went, wow, next to the train, just like in Japan, it cannot be perfect.
Just
So
like-
it was,
Eddie
it was-
called me. He's like, "Yo, where's this at? I'm lost. I'm in the hood." I'm like, "You're close. You're good. You're good."
And it was a good opportunity, and it was perfect. So I went, let's go ahead and do it.
It's got
Yeah.
the same little vibe.
Yeah, I mean, I was telling you earlier before we started, I've been to Japan. I went to an omakase in Japan, and it felt the same exact way as you're getting to the door. If you guys have not been to Ogawa, you have to go. It's an
the chefs are
experience
Japanese.
beyond anything I've ever done in Miami, man. It's legit. It's legit. If you can't go to Japan, go here. You'll feel it.
And I had a surprise here from our boy. Not only is he a restaurateur,
Mi camino a Japón. I
he's
love
a
it.
model. He's pretty. He's a pretty guy. He didn't shave today too much, but he's a pretty guy.
Hey, he comes from a trip.
Cuéntame about this, bro, because this is a journey and a life. Look at this. Look at the young Alvaro there. Huh? Model? Talk. How old are you in that picture?
No. I was just like, in Japan, they're just promoting the restaurant, and sometimes they came up and they go,
They
"Alvaro,
take pictures.
would
What
you
does
like
that
to
say
like
up
do
there?
that?" That's a hotel and restaurant magazine.
Hotel.
It's like the most important magazine in Japan for hotel and restaurants.
How
for the
old are you in
industry.
that picture there?
Like 28, something like that. So
Yeah.
Wait, your first restaurant
wearing-
started in Japan? You started how did you become a restaurateur? When did you decide this is what I'm going to do?
Well, I started in the restaurant business as a way to pay for my art school.
Okay.
And at a certain point, I couldn't do it anymore. And I was talking to, I was working in this Italian restaurant in LA because I spoke Italian as well. So, and a Japanese company came to the restaurant. They liked the concept. They offer us to open up there with the condition that we want Alvaro to move to Japan.
That's incredible.
As well, yeah.
So you moved to Japan
And I loved it. I mean, I really connected. I think the sensitivity, the artistic side, I was just like so motivated and fascinated by the architecture, the design, the fashion, the food.
Yeah.
That it was now Japan is going crazy with
crazy.
Social media.
Yeah.
I just came back. I was just there, and even in January, the amount of tourism there is insane.
That was my first impression. Whenever I first visited, it was culture, it was food, it was the way everything was, the attention to detail.
They're very proper over there.
Yeah. What does current Alvaro tell that 28-year-old? If you could tell him something, anything, what would you tell him?
That everything is going to be fine.
Yeah.
Just to keep doing what you do. Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good question. I come from a very humble family in Venezuela.
Yeah.
And one
I
of
was
the
reading
things,
you left Venezuela very mad, very upset at your situation.
I was, because in Venezuela, the way the society is structured doesn't give you opportunity if you come from
The bottom or the
from
middle.
the bottom, yeah. So, and I knew that I wanted to explore and I wanted to learn languages and so I left pretty
In the book it says
resentful.
upset. Yeah.
Resentful, right? So it was.
Is that what drove you? Kind of like to superar eso?
Well, I wanted to eat good food, and I like to dress nice. So, and to do this kind of things, you got to work and make things happen. So, that's what I did, So, and also, I just been always in terms of service. I like to take care of people.
You're a hospitable person.
I'm always.
We talked. You could tell.
I'm always practicing and doing and being nice to people in my building.
Evolving.
I open the door for everybody, and I'm always doing that.
And that thing will take people further than the opposite.
Well, when I go back to Venezuela, I wrote this book because Mi Camino Japón, which is my road to Japan, because a lot of people ask me, Alvaro, what's the key for your success? And it was like, I didn't know. I was just doing things, and I wanted to do things in a really good way. And so I wrote the book to inspire young people in Latin countries that when you do things, as long as you do things with excellence, there will be somebody who's looking and somebody who can come and say, I'm going to give you an opportunity. And that's how you step
I agree
up.
100%. I agree. A lot of my life has been like that. Doing things the right way, and you end up rubbing shoulders with somebody. I got to give a shout out to a big mentor of mine, Manny. And they just see a lot of times you see yourself in that person. And I've even felt it with myself and the younger generation. In some cases, I'm like, wow, that person reminds me a lot of me, when I was that age. And you see the hunger and the drive, and they don't care, and they power through, etc. And you end up, helping them up, and you kind of pass it down. It's like an unspoken rule, unwritten rule among, high achievers that I think that happens.
I think, and that's what I practice with my own employees. Every time I go to Japan, I bring one of my guys with me.
That's amazing.
So they can see how things are done in Japan. That you walk in the dog, and the dog goes and pees. And the lady goes and takes a bottle of water and just like washes down the urine, so that the street
full cleaning.
It's another level, Japan.
I was going to ask you because, if you had to give advice to like a young artist now, it's in college or something along those lines, what would your advice be now that the way society and everything has changed? Because you found a way to merge art with hospitality. And it's been very, very impressive with what you've obviously clearly created. What would your advice be to someone? Because maybe a lot of times people think I'm into art and I'm going to stay in art. But that's not always how it happens.
Art makes no money.
Well, you can make money with art too. The only thing, social media has changed everything right now.
Yeah.
And if you see right now, like the way the art market is going, the person who doesn't make the money is the artist. They're just recycling. There is a Rothko that just sold for like $450 million, and a basket for this for 150, and we're going into watches now for $1 million and things like that, right? So I only work right now with emerging artists that I like, my personal taste.
Wow.
That I go, okay, I like this guy, and I want to sell them and help them to grow a little bit. And if they want it, I don't sign exclusive deals with the artists. Everybody's free to do whatever they want to do.
Oh wow! So if they find another opportunity, go for it.
I help them to find other opportunities with bigger galleries right now.
I was going to ask you still do some of your galleries and some of your expositions?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I work. I work with developers as well, that they call me up and they go, Alvaro,
put some swag over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Put
Mr.
some
Swag,
swag.
that's you.
I have I have a daughter that's 19, right? She's 19 now. She graduated from Gulliver. She then went to SCAD. She did a semester in SCAD.
Art school.
She's in art school, and now she is in School of Visual Arts in New York, in Manhattan, right there.
That's fantastic.
By Little Italy, right? And she just started this semester now. She has her own little apartment and everything now there. She's super happy. And
she's got the artist.
And New York is the perfect
place.
city.
She told me.
Because you get so motivated in New York.
Correct. So she did a semester in SCAD, and after she's like, Papi, that's not for me. So she went to New York now, and she's been doing art since she was 8 years old, right? And it was so random. I always wanted to give her like experiences in life, not so much like buying her toys. So I just drove. I saw Priscilla and Tiffany's art school. I pulled in. It was the day of her 8th birthday. I didn't have a gift for her. Pulled in, got it, got the big. You're starting art school. She saw it. Oh, okay. She keeps playing with toys, and then 1 class a week turned into 2 classes a week, turned into 3 classes a week, turned into the reason why she got into Gulliver, turned into getting a scholarship. And I'm like, now I see her, and I'm like, wow, art could really take you that far. And then I'm here talking to Alvaro, and I'm like seeing multiple roads where you can lead to.
Absolutely.
It's impressive.
Talking about roads, we were talking about it before we went on the air. A lot of people, they're from Venezuela or spots here that are kind of close. They're not that far. You having lived in Japan and going back and forth, how do you handle the flights, bro, and the jet lag? I know you're jet lagged right now. You can see it in his face a little bit. But traffic, you know what I'm saying? Like if you got to go home, let's say you live in Jersey, or even if you live like in Puerto Rico, your parents, and you go back home a lot. When he goes back home, it's Japan, bro. That's a long ass flight. You want to talk about that and how you do that? Because he's also 6'3", 6. You're not a small guy.
I'm 6'1".
You can't fly. I mean, I can't fly first class every time I go there. That's crazy. So like, how do you deal with not only the time being in the plane?
The prices right now are insane.
You don't have like a mileage package having to go back so many times.
You can have
those mileage packages are a bunch of bullshit too most of the time.
Bro,
absolutely.
I'm taking that flight.
They tell you it has to be within this time and this time and this and that.
That flight is brutal. I think he told us that it took 2 days to get back.
And I tell you, delays. I just went in like the airplanes, like the American Airlines airplanes is like an old bus. I took pictures. The toilet doesn't work.
No way.
The thing is like falling down. It's just this trip was a nightmare. I just came back 2 days ago.
Yeah.
By the way, because you know why I went to Japan this time is because I decided to open up Hiyakawa in Tokyo.
Oh, wow.
Wow, congratulations.
So
you're going to fly us out and let us try to...
Well, I go to Japan every 3 months.
That's crazy.
Okay,
It's
that's
such a brutal
You know,
flight.
like it is brutal. I mean, it's just.
But you
it's
know what?
not-
Like going back to the flight for me is not a problem. I really don't care as long as I have entertainment system, the TV, the little,
But you're in
the little.
16 hours.
Yeah, but you know what? You watch 3 or 4, 5, 6 movies, whatever.
And you
You
have
don't care.
breakfast twice on that flight.
But hear me out. What I hate about those flights is when you go sit down and then like the entertainment doesn't work or the TV doesn't work.
That
Now it's
happened.
like,
That just
kills
happened.
me. Now I get pissed. You know, and now it's
Or
like
the Wi-Fi doesn't work.
yeah, it's like okay, because if I'm sitting there, whatever, I gotta take it with sitting there. But those are the worst things about those long flights. They kill you with that.
Check this out. I go in business class, right? So we go
got
to
some leg room? You got some leg room?
We go from Dallas. Once we start like an hour into the Pacific, there was a medical emergency, and the plane turns back and lands in Seattle. Right, next day we're going again on business class there, and no pillows, no food. It's just you just got like the
sit down.
the sit down thing, the whole thing. And you try to call American Airlines, and you go like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're only for reservations. Send an email," and they don't respond. So it's like
It's the worst.
I mean, the system, honestly, right now is really messed up.
Yeah,
What's your favorite airline?
airline has to. I mean,
The Japanese airlines
Yeah,
are like
Emirates.
another level.
Emirates.
Really, I've never flown with Emirates.
I went, I went
But
Emirates
it's like-
to Dubai, and I go to Emirates to Colombia. Excellent.
Air Berlin is pretty good,
Consistent. Nothing's broken. Everything's clean. They have the little starlight roofs, like the Rolls Royce and the and the other cars
up
have.
your little cab.
Yeah, and it's phenomenal.
In May, I went on JAL first. It was amazing. ANA is really nice too. I think American Airlines, they have to step up.
Yeah,
They've
been pretty much dog shit
But
all the
also, I hope that they're going to be soon. Probably, I've heard that in 2027 will be a nonstop Miami, Haneda,
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
Tokyo.
really?
That would be like great to do.
I
that.
just saw Elon Musk earlier, not to continue talking about transportation, but I saw Elon Musk throw some stuff up earlier that was incredible.
But they caught the rocket, the second one?
No. He's doing the travel, and he says he can do travel from States to Japan in 30 minutes. And then the rocket booster takes you up, the ship takes you across. 30 minutes later, you land, and you get off they land in the water, you get on a boat, and go to shore. And he was showing it, right? Go to his X account. It's incredible. He says you can go anywhere in the world in 30 minutes. In
Because
30
once you
minutes.
pop out of the atmosphere,
It's gonna be well, like $1.5 million.
Yeah.
That's why you go like time is money, brother.
they're going to have that diamond too.
That'll probably be like, $100,000 flight, something like that.
Wow.
Like that's why like time is money.
Yeah.
That's
30-minute flights anywhere around the world.
Oh my god,
That was incredible.
Amazing. Alvaro, what's the future like, and what do you anything you want to share with us? You might
Sure.
be opening or going on. Is
we're-
Ogawa getting a second Michelin Star? What's the deal?
I hope so. I think we have everything to that requires to do that, but like depends. I don't understand how the criteria works in Miami here, but we are opening Midoriya in West Palm Beach this year too.
There's one already here.
One in Coconut Grove, which is really nice. You guys got to come and
Which
see
are the
it.
restaurants, real quick, so we can get that on tape?
We have
Which are the restaurants?
Midoriya in Coconut Grove. We have Hiyakawa in Wynwood. We have Wabi Sabi on 79. Ogawa in Little River. We have coming up Midoriya in West Palm Beach and Hiyakawa in Tokyo.
Well, out of those, what would you say is your favorite one? Out of all the restaurants you have,
Tough question.
South
Wow,
Florida,
you know
what would you
what?
say is your favorite restaurant?
They're all like super personal. There are things that I
It's like picking a baby, right?
like.
Can't pick a child.
It's like when you start conceptualizing and you have the idea and you go and talk to the team and I go, okay, this is what we're gonna do, and choosing the art. And Ogawa is very personal because
very
Ogawa has a lot of like my ceramic collection. The artwork in Ogawa is a 2,000-year-old technique called the honga.
Excellent.
Made with crushed mineral pigments mixed with rabbit skin glue, painted on washi paper and mounted on wood.
That's incredible. And you know what? You feel it when you're in there. Because I was looking at you feel it.
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
Very, very, very impressive work.
So we have, for the moment, we have these. I'm excited to open up Hiyakawa in Tokyo because I will have the opportunity to also send my employees to work in Tokyo.
That's great.
So they can understand and we can be really authentic in everything what we do. So
you're gonna get a lot of resumes now.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you a question because
I got one more after.
For people who don't know the meaning of Michelin Star or how a Michelin Star is given to a restaurant, believe it or not, there's a lot of people who see and they just assume, okay, it's associated to greatness. What does it mean to get a Michelin Star, and what is the criteria typically that is provided for one?
I think just to have good food and good service first. I have no idea, to be honest with you.
Of how they decided?
Yeah.
And how do you get notified about it? Like, do they just send you an email? Hey, you're a Michelin Star now, or how does that? Or they release it?
They send you an email. For example, Hiyakawa is on the Michelin Guide as well.
Okay,
but we don't. There are no stars. They send you an email, and then you get invited to the party. If you get invited to the party, then you're getting a star.
What type of party is that?
It's like an awards ceremony where they give the stars to all the restaurants.
Okay,
the criteria, I have no idea.
And do they? I'm assuming that they send someone to visit the location, of course.
They do send inspectors.
And how often is a Michelin Star given? Is it a yearly thing that they come out with a new list?
Every year.
Every year they come out with a new list.
Every year.
You get rated.
You get rated yearly.
I want to ask them the last question. You ready?
Ready.
What are your 3 favorite top restaurants that you go to here in Miami?
That are not yours.
Okay.
That are not yours.
Be yours.
Yeah. You go to and I eat there, Kiko.
Shout out to people that you
and start from the
appreciate
bottom.
their craft,
Right.
Third.
Well,
start with number 3.
I like Flora.
Flora, where is it?
Plant Kitchen it's on 54th and Biscayne. It's a vegetarian restaurant.
Wow.
I go there probably 3 times a week.
That's the first time a vegan restaurant cracks the top
But
three.
then are they vegan or vegetarian?
I just went to this Peruvian restaurant in Aventura.
Number 2 is Peruvian restaurant in Ventura.
Is that your
No, I
second
just
one?
went out. Well, I liked it.
Okay, what was it?
I liked
What's it
it. Bar. Don't remember.
That's all good. We'll find
I just
it.
went once, but I just I've been going to Ensenada
Okay, where's that?
at the Vagabond at my old restaurant.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
which is
And
nice.
that's your favorite right now? Or not?
I've been going there because it's nice. The tacos are really
Really?
nice. The guacamole
Wow.
is
It's a Mexican restaurant.
It's fantastic. I love my cafecito in the morning. I go to Sweet Havana
Oh, wow.
in the morning, which is
Okay.
have you been in Sweet
Yeah, I've been there
Havana?
before. Coffee, yeah.
I'm
absolutely.
gonna take you there.
All right, let's
Kiko,
do it. Let's do it.
I love Sweet Havana. Actually, if somebody wants to kill me,
We'll
Find you there?
They can find me there in the morning.
Or kidnap you. It's not Venezuela, though.
Yo, I was dying to get him on. He's not only a really good friend of mine, he's a brother. He's not that older than I am, but he's also a mentor and somebody I respect. And hospitality, if you're talking about it, you got to mention his name.
But wait, I was gonna before you close out, because I feel like I talked to you for a very long time. You're very measured in the way your approach to conversation is.
That's because the cameras are rolling.
No.
Oh, really?
No. Get Alvaro on a one-on-one.
I wanted to get your insight on what you see. So I fight with people all the time, and I think Miami has some of the best cuisine in the world. Okay, I think Miami has done something where it's a lot of fusion. Some people like that, some people don't, because it takes away from authenticity. Where do you see the Miami food scene going? There's more and more restaurants every day, while at the same time I know there's a lot of restaurants that close down. What does it take to be successful here, and where do you see the Miami scene going?
Well, by understanding the market first. I think a lot of people come into Miami and, they open up these huge restaurants, and Miami is seasonal.
It is.
You cannot really it is very seasonal.
You do. We've seen the dips in the summertime.
Absolutely.
And stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the past summer 2024
was rough.
Was
brutal.
Brutal
For everyone.
For everyone.
In every industry.
We get it. We get it.
And I think it was because election season too.
It was, I was, whoa. But you learn a lot to prepare for this one.
Yes.
And
they all survived, right? All your babies survived.
Thank God.
Thank God.
So you have to understand that about Miami.
Yeah.
Also, Miami, on the other side, has the reputation of being a party restaurant.
100%.
There is a lot of, but also there is really good food. I love Tam Tam, which is good.
Constantly rated here.
Recoveco.
Okay.
I heard about Recoveco.
Recoveco. I'll take you. Let's go together.
Let's do it.
Let's
you
go
know what
together.
I love too? Tran An, John Wynn, who does Thai food over there.
Yeah, I like them too.
Really good too.
I wish that I could go often. The only food that I don't eat when I go out is sushi. and everybody, and everyone goes like, "Alvaro, you gotta try this
What
restaurant."
would you say is like your favorite dish, like of all time? Your favorite dish
for
food, any type of
¿Qué es lo que te gusta comer, primo?
Oh wow, I like the shimaji temaki that we make at the restaurant.
Oh wow!
So your own food.
Your own food. I gotta go with bandeja paisa. I love bandeja
paisa.
I've eaten nothing everywhere. No, I was gonna ask you another was you're very in tune with the industry. Do you have do you know the majority of chefs in Miami? Do you have do you go to restaurants based off of the chef, or do you have like a top chef that you always want to follow and go and see what he's doing?
I like to support like the young generation. For example, like the guys at Recoveco. They're really nice.
Wow.
I went to Entrenos. They're really young people, and that makes you feel like really optimistic about the future because Camilo at La Palma, which is like he just got into the Michelin. He's super talented chef as well. And my advice to all these guys is always to keep it humble, So
good point.
Keep it humble.
Good point. Last question. For anybody out there that sees what you've been able to do, are you looking for other opportunities? Are you looking for investors? Are you looking to do anything else beyond what you have right now?
No, for the moment I'm okay.
You got a lot of money.
No, you know what? Also, it's not about the money. It's about the freedom to have to be able for you to make your own decisions.
Yeah.
Right.
And not have that big investor looming over.
Exactly. So that's one thing. And then my company right now. I open the restaurant 5 days a week. So everybody takes 2 days off.
Amazing.
Right? I give 2 weeks. We take collective vacations, for everybody. So everybody
on the same page.
Recharge. And that's why you come to my restaurant. And always the same stuff, and everybody's really happy. And we're like, I want to promote that. And the good thing for us is like we're lucky enough that we become friends with our customers.
Yeah.
That's the
same vibe I have here. I do 2 weeks at the end of the year, and I give them off. And they work 5 days a week.
Right.
And very if you want to work from home, we can work from home sometimes. If you have a family situation, it's not like counted against you. It's not so structured. But you know why I'm like that? Because I grew up in that old school system that was black and white.
Me too.
And I said, I never want to have a culture like this. I never want to be a part of a culture like this ever again. But I said, if I don't like that and I didn't like that, why would I push that upon people,
Me too. Once because of also necessity. I needed to work.
Yeah,
because I needed to
I had a very successful corporate life working for a big company, but now I prefer this way.
There's a lot of freedom.
A lot of freedom, bro. A lot of freedom and a lot of stuff, cool stuff we can do.
Yeah.
Well, listen, guys. I'm not closing everything, but I wanted to I didn't have the opportunity to say thank you before inviting me to the
my pleasure.
podcast. That was so much fun.
Thank you, bro. This is kind of coming. I mean, I've
So
been covering
cool.
you for years. Following everything. Thank you, man.
And it's been fun, just chatting with you about food.
If you want to know more about Alvaro, you can find his book on Amazon.
On Amazon, yes.
On Amazon, find his book on
Mi
Amazon.
Camino a Japón.
Mi Camino a Japón.
And you're all invited to Tokyo to the new restaurant. He said it.
Let's do it.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey, you're the man.
Good to see you.